Once upon a time, in the city of Warri, Delta State, there lived a woman named Jumoke Adebisi. Now, let me tell you something about Jumoke. This woman was stubborn like a goat that has tasted salt. When Jumoke set her mind on something, even thunder and lightning could not change it. Her stubbornness was legendary, the kind that makes elders shake their heads and mutter proverbs under their breath. Jumoke worked at Golden Gate Oil Company as head of procurement, the person who decided which companies would supply materials to Golden Gate. And this woman had power, the kind of power that made grown men sweat like ice blocks under hot sun when they came to meet her. She was 42 years old, tall and slim like an Iroko tree, with skin the color of well-polished mahogany. She wore expensive clothes and shoes that could buy a whole generator for a family. She walked with her head high, her handbag swinging like a pendulum, koi, 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 her heels clicking on the marble floor like a drum beat announcing the arrival of someone important. "Good morning, ma," people would greet her. She would just nod her head small, as if words were too expensive to waste on ordinary people. Some people called her Iron Lady behind her back. Others called her Madam No Nonsense. Now, Jumoke had a husband named Biodun. Poor Biodun. This man was like a shadow in his own house. He worked as a mid-level manager in a bank, but compared to his wife, he was like a candle standing next to his searchlight. Every morning, Biodun would wake up early to prepare breakfast, yam and eggs, bread and tea, whatever Jumoke wanted. "Biodun, the water is not hot enough," Jumoke would shout from the bathroom. "Yes, dear, I'm boiling more now," Biodun would answer, running like a houseboy. Kai, this man suffered. But he loved his wife, so he endured. They had been married for 15 years and had 2 children, a daughter named Temi, who was 13, and a son named Dari, who was 10. Now, let me introduce you to the villain of this story. His name was Chief Akintunde Balogun, but everybody called him Chief Tunde. This man was a contractor, a very big contractor who had been doing business with Golden Gate Oil Company for over 20 years. Chief Tunde was fat like a well-fed cow, with a belly that entered a room 5 minutes before the rest of his body. He wore traditional agbada that could make tent for a family of 6 and gold chains that looked heavy enough to anchor a ship. Chief Tunde was rich, very, very rich. But there was something people didn't know about Chief Tunde. Behind all that wealth and those big smiles, Chief Tunde was a dangerous man. Very dangerous. He was like a crocodile, floating calmly on top of the water while planning how to drag you down below. For years, Chief Tunde had been winning big contracts from Golden Gate Oil Company. How did he do it? Simple. He bribed everyone who needed bribing. The former head of procurement, Chief Tunde had given him so much money that the man bought 3 houses in just 5 years. The managing director, Chief Tunde sent him on vacation to Dubai every year, all expenses paid. This was how Chief Tunde operated. He believed that every person had a price. You just needed to find it and pay it. Then Jumoke was promoted to head of procurement. 3 days after Jumoke's promotion, Chief Tunde drove to her office in his gleaming Range Rover. He climbed down, his agbada flowing, his walking stick tapping the ground, bong, bong, bong. When he reached the 5th floor, Jumoke's secretary, a young lady named Grace, stood up quickly. "Good afternoon, Chief Tunde." "Good afternoon, my daughter. Is your madam inside?" After waiting 30 minutes, Chief Tunde was finally allowed into Jumoke's office. "Good afternoon, Chief Tunde," she said, without looking up. Madam," Chief Tunde laughed, spreading his arms. "Is this how to greet an old friend?" Jumoke finally looked up. Her eyes were sharp like a hawk's. "Please, sit down, Chief." Chief Tunde sat down, but something felt different. Usually, when he visited the former head of procurement, the man would offer him drinks, ask about his family, gist small, but this woman just sat there, looking at him like a teacher looking at a student who failed an exam. "Chief Tunde," Jumoke started, "I want you to understand something. Now that I am the head of procurement, things will be different. All contracts will be awarded based on merit. The best proposal, the best price, the best track record, that is what will win contracts. Not friendships, not connections, merit." Bam! The word landed in the room like a thunderclap. Chief Tunde's smile froze on his face like butter in a freezer. "Madam," he said carefully, "you know how these things work. Sometimes, to make business flow smoothly, we need to, oil the engine small." "Oil the engine?" Jumoke stood up. "Chief Tunde, I am not a car. This office is not a mechanic workshop. If you want to win contracts here, come with the best proposal. That is the only oil we need." Chief Tunde felt sweat beginning to form on his forehead like morning dew. This woman was serious. "Madam, you don't understand." "I understand perfectly, Chief Tunde." Jumoke sat back down. "If you want to do business with Golden Gate Oil Company, you will do it properly, clean and transparent. Is that clear?" Chief Tunde stood up slowly. His voice became low and serious, like thunder rolling in from far away. "Madam, let me tell you something. In this Nigeria, nobody is too clean. Nobody. If you think you can change the system, you are deceiving yourself. The system will change you instead." Jumoke smiled, a small, cold smile like ice forming on water. "Chief, thank you for your visit. Grace will show you out." Just like that, she dismissed Chief Tunde like a schoolboy. Chief Tunde walked out of that office with his pride wounded like a soldier shot in battle. As his car drove through Warri's busy streets, Chief Tunde sat in the back seat, his face twisted like cloth squeezed by angry hands. "This woman," he muttered, "this woman doesn't know who she is playing with. She thinks she's untouchable? We will see. We will see who is untouchable." And from that day, Chief Tunde began to plot. Like a spider weaving its web, he began to plan how to destroy Jumoke Adebisi. Months passed. Jumoke continued her work at Golden Gate with the same stubborn determination. She reviewed contracts carefully, asked tough questions, and rejected proposals that didn't meet her standards, even when those proposals came from very important people. One day, she rejected a contract from a company owned by Senator Oladimeji, a powerful politician from Lagos. The next day, her phone rang. It was the managing director of Golden Gate, Alhaji Musa Dangiwa. "Jumoke, come to my office now," Alhaji Musa said. His voice was not friendly. When Jumoke entered his office, she found him sitting behind his desk with his fingers pressed together. "Why did you reject Senator Oladimeji's contract?" he asked. "Because the proposal was overpriced by 40% and the company has no track record of delivering projects on time." "Do you know who Senator Oladimeji is?" "Yes, I know, but being a senator doesn't make his company qualified." Alhaji Musa sighed heavily. "Jumoke, you are too rigid. In this business, you need to be flexible." Flexible? Jumoke's voice rose slightly. Sir, with all due respect, I was hired to manage procurement with integrity. If I become flexible, how is that different from corruption? Don't use that word in my office. Alhaji Musa's hand slammed on the desk. Pow! Sir, I cannot do that, Jumoke said quietly but firmly. Alhaji Musa leaned forward. Don't be that stubborn goat that wanders alone and meets a lion, Jumoke. Sir, I would rather be an honest goat than a corrupt sheep. She walked out, her heart pounding bok like a talking drum. Meanwhile, in his mansion in Lekki, Chief Tunde was having a secret meeting. Around his dining table sat 5 people who all had one thing in common. They hated Jumoke. There was Oga Emeka, a senior manager at Golden Gate whose side income had been cut off by Jumoke's strict policies. There was Mrs. Folashade Koka, the former acting head of procurement who had expected the promotion that Jumoke got. There was Mr. Ibrahim Yakubu, a contractor who had lost a major deal because Jumoke discovered his fake documents. And there was Barrister Chidi Okonko, a lawyer who specialized in settling difficult cases. My people, Chief Tunde began, his voice low and menacing. This woman, Jumoke Adebisi, has become a problem. The question is, what are we going to do about it? We need to remove her from that position, Oga Emeka said. Chief Tunde leaned forward, his eyes glinting. We will use 3 strategies. First, we will plant fake documents showing that she accepted bribes. Oga Emeka, you will plant the document in the procurement files. Oga Emeka nodded slowly. Second, Mrs. Koka, you will spread rumors that Jumoke is difficult and incompetent. Let the story spread like wildfire. Mrs. Koka smiled wickedly. And third, we will attack her family. Everyone looked at Chief Tunde with shock. We need to distract her, make her weak, make her make mistakes, Chief Tunde explained coldly. Her husband, Biodun, is about to have some problems at his bank. Some money will go missing, some documents will show he has been embezzling. Nothing that will send him to prison immediately, but enough to cause trouble, enough to distract Jumoke. Chief, this is dangerous, Oga Emeka said nervously. Just do what I tell you. Chief Tunde's voice boomed like thunder. I have been doing this for 30 years. Do you think I don't know how to cover my tracks? One by one, they all nodded in agreement. Let the operation begin. 2 weeks later, Biodun received a call at work. Mr. Biodun Adebisi, this is internal audit. Please report to the regional manager's office immediately. Biodun's heart jumped. Internal audit? What could they want with him? When he reached the regional manager's office, he found 3 people waiting. Mr. Larry from internal audit, the regional manager, Mrs. Adenka, and a stern-looking man in a dark suit. Sit down, Mr. Adebisi, Mrs. Adenka said coldly. Mr. Adebisi, we have discovered some irregularities in your department accounts, Mr. Larry began. There are 3 transactions totaling 5 million naira that cannot be properly accounted for. The transactions were authorized using your login credentials. What? Biodun jumped up. That's impossible. I have never. Ayomide, with tears running down her face. Please stop shouting. Please, Mommy, Daddy, stop fighting. Both parents felt shame wash over them. What were they doing? Fighting in front of their children? The next day at work, a courier package arrived for Jumoke. Inside was a file containing fake documents showing that she had awarded a contract to a fictitious company for 50 million naira. The documents had her forged signature and official stamp. At the bottom was a handwritten note. You thought you were untouchable. Resign quietly and we will make all of this go away. Continue to be stubborn and these documents will find their way to EFCC and every newspaper in Nigeria. You have 1 week to decide. Jumoke's hands trembled. This was blackmail. Very clever blackmail. Chief Tunde's work without doubt. That night, she called her mother in Oshogo. Jumoke, my daughter, what is wrong? Mama asked when she heard Jumoke's voice. Jumoke told her everything. As she spoke, tears ran down her face like rivers. When she finished, Mama spoke. My daughter, do you know the story of the stubborn ram? Jumoke, this is not the time for stories. Listen. There was once a ram who refused to run from the hunter. The ram believed that courage meant never backing down. When the hunter came, all the animals ran and hid, but the stubborn ram stood in the middle of the path. Do you know what happened? The hunter shot the ram, and as the ram was dying, the other animals said, the ram was brave, but he was also foolish, because courage without wisdom is just stupidity wearing a mask. Jumoke felt the words pierce her heart. Are you saying I should give up? I am saying you need to be wise, Jumoke. You cannot fight the whole world alone. Sometimes the wise warrior retreats to fight another day. Sometimes the smart woman bends like grass so that when the storm passes, she can stand up again. Are you saying I should resign? I am saying you should do what is best for your family. You have a husband who might go to prison. You have 2 children who need their mother. Are you going to sacrifice them all on the altar of your principles? After the call, Jumoke sat in darkness, thinking. Finally, she made a decision. She would resign. She would protect her family and walk away. But the next morning, before she could type her resignation letter, something happened that would change everything. Grace burst into her office. Ma, you need to come quickly. There's trouble in the main lobby. Jumoke rushed downstairs. In the middle of the lobby stood a young woman holding a baby and crying loudly. Where is Jumoke Adebisi? I want to see that witch, that husband snatcher, that evil woman. Security guards were trying to calm her down, but she kept shouting, and a crowd was gathering. What is going on here? Jumoke asked. When the young woman saw Jumoke, her eyes blazed with fury. You are sleeping with my husband. You are using your position to force him to have an affair with you. Busa! The accusation exploded in the lobby like a bomb. Everyone gasped. Phones came out immediately. Tikuruku, tikuruku, cameras were flashing. I don't even know you, Jumoke said, her heart pounding. Liar! You know my husband, architect Olumide Taiwo. Look at the evidence. She scattered photographs on the floor. People rushed forward to see. Jumoke looked down and her heart stopped. The photograph showed a woman who looked exactly like her entering a hotel with a man. Another showed them having lunch, sitting very close together. Another showed them holding hands. But it wasn't her. It was someone who looked like her. This is not me. These pictures are fake. Someone is setting me up. That's what they all say. Husband snatcher, husband snatcher. And then, like a choir from hell, some people in the crowd started joining in. Husband snatcher, husband snatcher. It was chaos, pure chaos. The videos were already spreading. Just then, her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Ah, Madam Jumoke. It was Chief Tunde's voice, laughing like a hyena. Ha ha! I hope you are enjoying the show. I told you that nobody is untouchable. You refused to resign quietly, so now the whole world will watch you fall. By tomorrow morning, these videos will be everywhere. Your reputation will be destroyed. Your husband will divorce you. Your children will be ashamed of you. And Golden Gate will fire you, not because you refused bribes, but because you are a woman of questionable character. The phone went dead. Jumoke stood there, in the middle of the chaotic lobby, feeling like the walls were closing in. Chief Tunde had won. He had completely destroyed her. By evening, the videos had gone viral. Jumoke's face was everywhere on social media. People were calling her terrible names. Bloggers were writing stories with headlines like "Top Oil Executive Caught in Affair Scandal." The comments were vicious. "These career women have no respect. She looks decent on the outside, but see her true character. Shame on her." Nobody was asking for proof. People had already judged her and convicted her in the court of public opinion. When Jumoke got home, she found Biodun watching the news. A TV station was covering the story. "Is it true?" he asked quietly. "What?" Jumoke couldn't believe it. "Biodun, after 15 years of marriage, you think I would do this?" "I don't know what to think anymore, Jumoke. I don't know who you are anymore." "You know exactly who I am. I'm your wife. You've been fighting your own battles. You never consulted me. So forgive me if I don't know what to believe." He stormed out, leaving Jumoke alone. Upstairs, Temi was crying in her room. "Go away! I hate you! Everyone at school is laughing at me. You've ruined our lives." Jumoke went to Dari's room and found him sitting on his bed, hugging his knees. "Mommy, is it true, the things they are saying?" "No, my dear. Bad people are telling lies about me. Kelvin's mother saw me today. She said to Kelvin, 'Don't let that woman's child infect you with bad character.' Why are people so mean, Mommy?" Jumoke had no answer. She just hugged her son and cried. Later that night, Jumoke sat alone in the dark. Chief Tunde had won. Her reputation was gone. Her family was falling apart. Her career was over. She thought about giving up completely, just disappearing. But then she thought about her children. They didn't deserve this shame. And slowly, like a small flame beginning to grow in darkness, something else began to grow in Jumoke's heart. Anger. Not hot, explosive anger, but cold, calculating anger. The kind that gives you focus. Chief Tunde thought he had destroyed her. He had miscalculated. Because a woman who has lost everything is a woman with nothing left to lose. And such a woman is the most dangerous kind. Jumoke wiped her tears and stood up. Tomorrow she would not resign. Tomorrow she would not run away. Tomorrow she would fight back. But this time she would be smart. This time she would play the game by their rules. If Chief Tunde wanted war, she would give him war. The next morning, Jumoke woke up with a plan forming in her mind. She realized that fighting Chief Tunde head-on had been her mistake. You cannot defeat a crocodile by jumping into the water with it. You need to be smarter. She called her old friend from university, Zainab Bello, who now worked as an investigative journalist with one of Nigeria's biggest newspapers. "Zainab, I need your help." "Jumoke, I saw what happened. I'm so sorry. But I want you to know, I didn't believe those stories for 1 second." "Thank you. Zainab, I need you to investigate someone for me. Chief Akintunde Balogun. I need everything you can find on him. His business dealings, his contracts, his connections, everything." "That's a big fish, Jumoke. Are you sure?" "I'm sure. He did this to me, and I'm going to expose him." Okay, I'll give you 2 weeks. Next, Jumoke called another old friend, Femi Oladipo, who worked as a cyber security expert. Femi, I need you to trace something for me. There are fake photographs circulating. I need to know where they came from, who created them, and who sent them. I'll see what I can do. Then, Jumoke did something unexpected. She went to see Biodun's bank and asked to speak with the regional manager privately. Mrs. Adenka, I know my husband is innocent. I also know that someone very powerful planted fake evidence to frame him. I'm asking you, please investigate thoroughly. Check the CCTV footage, check the computer logs, check everything. Because if you look carefully enough, you will find the truth. Mrs. Adeyinka studied Jumoke for a long moment. You really believe he's innocent? I know he's innocent, and I think if you're honest with yourself, you know it too. My husband has worked at this bank for 12 years without a single issue. Does it make sense that he would suddenly steal 5 million naira? Mrs. Adeyinka was quiet. Then she said, I'll look into it again, but I can't promise anything. That's all I ask. The truth. Just the truth. 2 weeks passed like years. Jumoke went to work every day, ignoring the stares and whispers. She held her head high, even though inside she was crumbling. At home, things were cold and tense. Biodun barely spoke to her. The children were withdrawn and quiet. But Jumoke kept going. Because now she had purpose. Now she had a mission. Then, on a Monday morning, Zainab called. Jumoke, you need to sit down for this. I'm sitting. Tell me. Chief Tunde is dirty. Very dirty. I found evidence of at least 15 fraudulent contracts over the past 10 years. He's been bribing government officials, inflating contract prices, using fake companies. I've got bank statements, email correspondences, recorded phone calls. This man is a criminal. Can you publish it? I'm publishing it tomorrow. Front page. Billionaire contractor's empire built on fraud. This is going to shake Nigeria. Then Femi called. Jumoke, I traced those photographs. They were created using AI technology, deep fake images. Someone took real pictures of you and digitally placed your face on another woman's body. Very sophisticated work, but I found the digital fingerprints. I know which company created them. A small media company in Ikeja, and I know who paid for it. Who? Chief Tunde. I have the payment receipts. Jumoke felt her heart racing. Evidence. Real evidence. Then the final piece fell into place. Mrs. Adeyinka called Biodun. Mr. Debisi, can you come to my office? When Biodun arrived, he found Mrs. Adeyinka with a different expression on her face. Not accusatory, but apologetic. Mr. Debisi, we've completed our investigation. We reviewed all the CCTV footage and discovered something. On the days those transactions were made, you were in meetings with multiple witnesses. You couldn't have authorized them. But my login, your login was cloned. Someone with high-level IT access created a duplicate of your credentials and used them remotely. We've traced the IP address to a computer in, she paused, in Chief Tunde Balogun's office building. Biodun sat down heavily. Chief Tunde? We're bringing in the police. This is a serious crime. Fraud, identity theft, attempted framing. Mr. Debisi, I'm sorry. We should have investigated more thoroughly from the beginning. You're cleared of all charges and you'll be reinstated with full back pay. Everything happened quickly after that. Zainab's article was published. Boom! It exploded across Nigeria like a bomb. Within hours, Chief Tunde's face was everywhere. But this time, he was the criminal, not Jumoke. The Economic and Financial Commission, EFCC, launched an investigation. Chief Tunde was arrested at his mansion in Lekki. As they led him away in handcuffs, journalists swarmed like bees. Chief Tunde, did you frame Jumoke Adebisi? Chief, is it true you've been bribing government officials? No comment! No comment! Chief Tunde shouted, but his face told the whole story, the face of a man whose empire was crumbling like a house of cards. Oga Emeka, Mrs. Koka, Mr. Ibrahim, and Barrister Chidi were all arrested as accomplices. The EFCC found the planted documents, found the evidence of the conspiracy, found everything. Golden Gate Oil Company issued a public statement apologizing to Jumoke and offering her full support. Alhaji Musa personally called her to his office. Jumoke, he said quietly, I owe you an apology. You are right and I was wrong. I should have supported you instead of asking you to be flexible. Thank you, sir. I want you to know you still have a job here. In fact, we're promoting you to General Manager of Operations, if you'll accept. Jumoke smiled, a real, genuine smile. I'll accept, but I'll need support to clean up all the corruption properly. You have it. You have my full support. The truth about the fake photographs also came out. News outlets that had published the scandal now published retractions. Jumoke Adebisi innocent, victim of elaborate frame-up. Social media, which had been so quick to condemn her, now rushed to apologize. We're sorry, Jumoke. We should have waited for the truth. This is why we shouldn't rush to judgment. Justice for Jumoke. But Jumoke knew that the damage had been done. Some people would always remember the scandal more than the vindication. That was the cost of standing up for what was right. There were always costs. At home, things slowly began to heal. Biodun came to her one evening, his eyes filled with tears. Jumoke, I'm sorry. I should have believed you. I should have stood by you instead of doubting you. You are scared, Biodun. I understand. No, there's no excuse. You are my wife. For better or worse, remember? I should have been your warrior when the world was attacking you. Instead, I became one of the attackers. Can you forgive me? Jumoke hugged him tightly. I forgive you, and I'm sorry too. I was so stubborn, so proud. I thought I could do everything alone. But I learned that even strong women need support. Even warriors need a shield bearer. Temi and Dari slowly came around too. At first, they were hesitant, ashamed of how they had treated their mother. But Jumoke sat them down and explained everything. The truth about Chief Tunde, about the fake photographs, about why sometimes doing the right thing makes you a target. Mommy, Dari asked, why did they do it? Why did they want to hurt you so bad? Because, my dear, some people believe that power is more important than truth. They believe that money is more important than integrity. And when someone like me stands in their way, they try to destroy that person. But you won, Temi said softly. Yes, I won. But it cost us a lot. It hurt our family. That's why I want you both to understand something important. Standing up for what's right is good, but you must also be wise. You must protect the people you love. You must not be so stubborn that you destroy everything around you. Like the stubborn ram? Dari asked. Jumoke smiled. Yes, like the stubborn ram. I learned that courage and wisdom must walk together. One without the other is dangerous. 6 months later, Jumoke stood in a conference room at Golden Gate Oil Company, addressing a room full of contractors and suppliers. Ladies and gentlemen, she said, I know many of you are used to the old way of doing business, but I'm here to tell you that the old way is dead. From now on, Golden Gate will operate with complete transparency. We will award contracts based on merit. We will pay fair prices. We will not tolerate corruption. But Ma, One contractor raised his hand. How can we trust that this will really work? How can we be sure? Jumoke smiled. Because I'm still here. Chief Tunde tried to destroy me with lies, with blackmail, with schemes. But I'm still here. And I'm not alone anymore. We have systems in place, checks and balances, independent auditors, whistleblower protections. Anyone who tries to bring back the old ways will face the same fate as Chief Tunde. There was silence in the room. Then slowly, one person started clapping. Then another. Then another. Until the whole room was applauding. Because sometimes, just sometimes, integrity wins. Not easily, not without cost, but it wins. That evening, Jumoke sat in her living room with her family. Bayodin had cooked dinner, a big pot of jollof rice and chicken. Temi was laughing at something on her phone. Dare was drawing another picture, this one showing their whole family together. "Mommy," Dare said, "I finished the picture. Look!" Jumoke looked at the drawing. It showed 5 stick figures holding hands. Mommy, Daddy, Temi, Dare, and in the middle, a grandmother figure labeled Mama. Because Mama had visited last week, and the children loved her wisdom stories. Above the family, Dare had written in his childish handwriting, "Together is stronger." Jumoke felt tears in her eyes, but this time they were good tears, happy tears. "Yes, my dear," she whispered, "together is stronger." She looked at Bayodin, who smiled at her, a smile full of love and pride and partnership. She looked at her children, who were happy again, healed again. She looked at the life they had almost lost, but had managed to save. And she thanked God. Because she had learnt the hardest lesson of her life, that being untouchable was just an illusion, that everyone needs help sometimes, and that stubbornness without wisdom is foolishness, and that family is more important than pride. Chief Tunde was in prison now, facing 15 years for fraud and corruption. His empire had crumbled, his wealth had been seized, his name had become synonymous with greed and evil. But Jumoke was still standing. Wounded, yes. Scarred, yes. But wiser, stronger, and most importantly, no longer alone. The end. The moral lesson of the story. My people, remember this story well. The person who stands alone is like a single tree in a storm, strong but vulnerable. But the person who stands with others is like a forest. When the wind blows, they band together. They support each other and they survive. Also remember, those who dig pits for others should be careful because the pit might be waiting for them instead. Chief Tunde learned this the hard way. Don't be like Chief Tunde. And if you must be stubborn like Jumoke, make sure you also have wisdom. Because as our elders say, the stubborn fly follows the corpse into the grave. Please, don't let your stubbornness kill you. This story has ended. Please don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Click the bell for more notification for interesting stories. Bye!